The following podcast is presented by Blue Ridge Production.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Unpacking the Occupation, the podcast where we help caregivers better understand the why behind their children's behaviors, emotions, and everyday challenges through an occupational therapy lens. I am your host, Trina Esperante, an occupational therapy doctoral student and a mom navigating the beautiful chaos of raising little ones. Today's episode is a fun one because I am joined by Sammy, a mom of an energetic and adventurous 6-year-old little boy who keeps her on her toes. Now, Sammy and I are family, so I've had the opportunity to watch her son grow over the years, and I've always loved seeing how intentional she is about supporting his development through play, movement, and sensory experiences. Sammy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
So, I'm so excited to have you here because I think so many parents are going to relate to the things that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
And we are going to be diving in to his fear of automatic toilets, which I can admit I am scared of automatic toilets as well. And what also might be happening when it seems like he's not listening for the first time. And we're
Mhm.
also going to talk about how sensory rich play has become such an important part of his daily routine. Because I know you love to incorporate that. You have been incorporating that since he was a baby.
Mhm.
But before we get into all of it, can you tell us a little bit about your son?
Okay, so my son, he is very extroverted, very adventurous and curious.
Mhm.
Sometimes I like to relate him to Curious George, like from the show,
Aw.
because I definitely feel that's how he is. He often tries to get me out of my shell because he's so extroverted. He's always talking to strangers, so I naturally have to be included as well. So
Yeah.
he's helping me.
Oh, I love that. Not only are you helping him, raise and be this amazing little boy, but he's also helping you grow, not only as a mom, but as a person. And
Oh,
I think that's a very nice dynamic. And parents, I know for me, right? I've learned so much through my son, and you've learned so much through your son. And it's just this whole cycle that we need to continue. And this also helps, his development as well, trying to discover, okay, I'm going to get my mom to do this. We're going to do this together. And that's just a really good bonding moment for the both of you guys. And
yes.
that's so sweet to hear. So, okay, now automatic toilets. Those things are scary, right?
Yeah.
So, when did you first notice that automatic toilets were becoming a challenge for him?
Hmm. I'd say he got potty trained a little bit later, around 3.
Mhm,
So probably since then, since he was able to go into public bathrooms.
mhm,
And I feel like as he got older, and he's 6 years old now, it's
mhm,
just become more and more of a fear.
mhm.
I haven't witnessed anything scary happening to him. I think it's just the sound that
Yeah.
really does scare him. And then especially in a bathroom filled with the automatic dryers as
Mhm.
well, just hearing that he can't even focus on going to the bathroom.
Oh, man. I know how that is. They're loud for no reason. Come on, toilet companies, get it
Yes.
together.
Yes.
So, when he does go, right, right, does he cover his ears? Does he refuse to go to the restroom if there's an automatic toilet?
We've done both before. There have been times where I will cover his ears while he's using the bathroom, so that way he can use his hands to, like, pull up and down his pants.
Mhm,
Um, and there have been times where he's completely refused to go, so we have to leave wherever we are to go
mhm.
find a bathroom without the automatic flushing. And it can be challenging sometimes because obviously I don't want him to hold it.
Yeah.
Um, Yes, I mean, there's been times where maybe we'll just stop at a park where no one's around, just
Mhm.
go behind a tree.
Oh.
It just yes, so it can be challenging sometimes, very challenging.
Yeah, and I can understand how, you can get frustrated in that moment because you wanna do what's best for your child, right? But you also wanna help them through, his fear
Mhm.
of this
Right.
loud sounds, and it's actually really common right now.
Mhm.
It's, for a lot of kids, it's not necessarily the toilet itself, it's the surprise. So, even
Right.
though he knows that there's an automatic toilet, it's like sometimes, you sit on it, right? And you're not even done, and then it goes, and it's like, "Oh my
Oh,
gosh."
yes.
I was like, "Ah."
Yeah.
So, it's scary and the best thing that you could do right there is, like, just let him know that you're there, right? Validate him, let him know that it's okay to
Mhm.
be scared, right? I mean, like, imagine sitting there, like I said, and then just hearing that loud flush without a warning, right?
Mhm.
And even as adults, it can make us jump. Um, for some
Right.
children, their nervous systems are just extra sensitive to those unexpected sounds.
Yes.
So, what feels like a silly reaction, right, to us can feel super overwhelming to them. Um, ha
Mhm.
I know you said that he does it with the dryers, that's also very loud. Have you noticed that he's bothered by other sounds as well, like fireworks or vacuums, blender, or, anything else?
Yes. Honestly, since he was a baby, whenever the alarms would go, like the fire alarms, whenever they
Mhm.
do testing for the apartment, um, he would be scared with that. I mean, it is very loud. But blenders as well, vacuums, fireworks, any loud sounds, he does get startled by it. And that, I mean, since he was a baby.
Hmm. Yeah, I can loud sounds in general are just scary.
Yes.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of sense. You also mentioned that sometimes he'll avoid using the restroom or hold his pee. Can you dive a
Mhm.
little bit more into that, and how does that look like?
Yes. There was the most recent incident. It was at a Chick-fil-A, and we were there on a play date, and he had to use the bathroom eventually, and went in first. We went in one time, and he saw there was the automatic toilets, and he just ran out. He was like, "No." So I asked his friend if he could go with him to,
Mhm,
help encourage him. And his friend
mhm.
was trying to be encouraging, but he still refused. He was a little bit more willing, but he was still so hesitant. He gets in panic mode.
Yeah.
And he starts just freaking out, just crying, and just
Mhm.
yeah, it's a really big fear for him.
Oh,
Um,
I wanna give him a
I
hug.
know.
He
I
deserves a big
know.
hug.
I was
Um,
thinking about maybe because they had a trash can there next to the toilet. I was thinking maybe we could do it in the trash can. I don't know. But then I felt bad. Like if they clean that, like how's that gonna
Yeah,
look? So we tried a third time and he still refused to. So we just had to leave. But
yeah.
he was causing a scene. He was yelling. I tried to just calm him down. So I sat down. I realized, okay, this is gonna be a little bit tricky. Let me sit down and just try to calm him down a bit
Mhm,
before we leave. And that did help a little bit. We were able to go to the parking lot and just drive somewhere else to use
mm.
the bathroom. Um, yeah, it can be challenging.
For my listeners out there, Sammy, I've known Sammy for 10 years, right? 11?
Oh my, I think so.
I don't know. And what is it? One thing you need to know about her, guys, she is so calm. She is the calmest person I've ever met. So,
Oh,
and
thank you.
she really knows how to ground you. So, having
Oh,
your son having you in this moment is really good because I talked to my other guests about this strategy. It's called co-regulation, right? Where your kids often borrow your calm, and they can kind of feel, if you're anxious, they're anxious. If you're calm, they're calm.
Mhm.
And it's really important. And I, want to give you your flowers for being able to be there when your son is, having these really big fears or moments of fears in this situation. And the fact that, you're trying to think of different alternatives, right? You're telling him, let's go ahead and try again. Let's not give up on the first time, but in a very calm way is very powerful. And something that I hope our listeners gain from today's conversation, how co-regulation is just a very important piece when it comes to helping your child get over this, fear or another type of occupational performance disturbance, right? But okay, I'm just so proud to hear that. Going
Aw.
back.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. And, so going back to, this topic, right? As an OT student, we learn a lot about theories, models, and frameworks. And it's basically a structure or a guide that helps us figure out how to treat the individual or how to go about helping them meet their needs. And in this case, um, we are going to talk about the PEO model, and that stands for person, environment, occupation. And I know it sounds fancy, right? But it just reminds us to look at the three things whenever a child is having difficulty with an activity. So, in this scenario, the environment is a public bathroom with the loud automatic toilets. The person is your son, who may be more sensitive to unexpected sounds, and the occupation or the activity would be toileting. So, when those three things work together, participation tends to be a lot easier. But sometimes the challenge isn't actually the child. Sometimes it's the environment creating a barrier. So, in this case,
Mhm.
the toilets, the automatic toilets. And listening to your story, it sounds like he knows how to use a toilet, right? He understands what he needs to do. And the challenge isn't the toileting skill itself, it's everything happening around that skill. And that's one of the reasons occupational therapists spend so much time looking at the environment. So instead of asking, how do we make him tolerate the bathroom? We can ask, how do we make the bathroom feel safer and more predictable for him? And
Mhm.
one thing that I learned during my fieldwork rotation is how much the environment can influence a child's participation in daily activities. So sometimes it's not about changing the child, it's about changing the environment or providing them the right supports, right? In this case, having the right strategies in place can help set your child up for success when navigating a loud flushing toilet. And if you notice that there is an automatic toilet or loud noises when you go out, do you help prepare your son to encounter them, and how does that typically look like?
Mm. There have been times where he does go and I just cover his ears for him.
Mhm.
Um, I always like to believe there's a chance that he will go anyway. If
Mhm.
not, I keep in mind about other bathrooms, other places nearby that I know don't have an automatic flusher. Um, like for example, at main event, they do have the automatic flushing. So sometimes he will go there, and sometimes he won't. And I
Mhm.
know right next door is Five Below, and he's been to that bathroom before. So we'll just walk right on over there, use the bathroom, and then go back to main event.
Aw, Sammy, the fact that you do your research before leaving, that's you get the best mom award. I'm first to tell
Thank
you.
you.
Aw, do you, um and has he gotten any better in facing this fear? Have you seen any, like, small changes?
Mm,
Because I know that you said that it's been going on for a while.
right. Honestly, I don't know. It just depends. In some ways, I feel like it's getting worse because
Mm.
whenever he does get really scared,
Mhm.
he I mean, he's louder now. He's 6 years old. He's able to scream more, scream
Yeah,
louder. So when it
yeah.
does get bad, yes. So he wants to join on the conversation right now.
Oh,
Okay.
hi. Hi.
Okay, baby.
We're trying to figure out your fear of toilets, buddy.
Yes, we're trying to find solutions.
Yes. Aw.
Okay. Where was I? No, I'll go get you soon. It's I don't mean to focus on the talking. It's okay. Come here. Oh my goodness.
It's okay. I know school is out, you know, mom life, caregiver parent life. Sometimes your kids are
Yeah,
gonna be at home and, we just that's just something that we have to adjust to, and
yeah.
completely fine with that.
Mhm.
Um, I know you were talking about how, like, if you go to a place, you need to find other options, um, for toilets that don't have the automatic flushes, and I was talking also about how that's a really good plan, doing your research, finding, local nearby restrooms that have non-automatic toilets, which is really, really good, and then we're also talking about if you've noticed small changes in his way of approaching this fear.
Mhm. He okay, yes. So sometimes he does that just a little bit rowdy.
Mhm.
But there have been other times where he'll say, "I'm gonna be brave. I can do it."
Aw,
Um,
yay!
he's
Woohoo! That's really good, and, that small changes like that can make a huge difference. And, maybe it's letting him know ahead of time if the restroom has an automatic toilet, right? Maybe it's making a plan before going in. I know you cover his ears when the flush is coming, but those little adjustments help children feel more prepared and in control. And also, by him saying that I'm going to be brave, right? Giving himself those affirmations is just much more helpful. And something else that I think is really interesting is helping children build confidence around unexpected events through play. It's games like freeze dance, red light, green light, Simon Says, right? Even perfection or operation. They all involve a little bit of anticipation and unpredictability. So to some, they might see this as just playing with your child. But what they don't know is that games like these help children practice waiting, responding, adjusting, and recovering when something unexpected happens. And the best part is they're benefiting learning these skills while also having fun. And we're helping them learn that surprises can happen and that they can handle them.
I don't think we've played together at least,
Mhm.
Simon Says or Freeze,
Yeah.
the freeze tag, but I know he has played that with his friends because I've watched it.
Mhm.
Mm. So maybe we should start playing it together so he
Yeah.
could yeah. So yeah, I think that'll be a good experience for both of us.
You can also play, which my favorite game in my household is Keepy Uppy with the balloon.
Okay.
Yes, super super cost friendly, right? You can get a
Right.
balloon, play Keepy Uppy. He's gonna have to, keep up the balloon. And by playing games like this that help with the anticipation, right? The
Mhm.
unpredictability, it helps build their confidence through meaningful play experience. And hopefully, you know, the long-term goal would be these games helping him be able to go use public restrooms with automatic toilets. So that's something you
Right.
can definitely try at home. Now, shifting gears a little bit, we're going to talk about something that I think every parent listening can relate to, right? You call your
Right.
child's you call your child's name, nothing. You call it again, still nothing. Then suddenly they answer the third time. And I know that can be frustrating, right? What does that usually look like with your son?
It's it's whenever I try to get his attention for him to stop doing something that he shouldn't be doing,
Mhm.
and that he's well aware of too. Um, like I don't know, right now at his age, he likes to pick up everything he sees, but sometimes the things that he sees is trash, and I just don't want him touching that. I don't want him picking that up. Um, so I try to tell him calmly first not to do that and he doesn't listen, and eventually I raise my voice a bit
Mhm.
to get more of his attention, and then it does, but then he's like, "Why are you mad at me?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Um, and a neighbor always happens to walk out during that time when my voice is raised. So I'm
Mhm.
like, "Man, this is so it is very challenging." But that's just an example.
I could totally see how that could be challenging. So, it's mostly when he's doing things he's not supposed to, right? Does he
Right.
also do it when, he's playing and you're telling him, "Hey, let's get ready for dinner. Hey, let's get ready for a bath," or if he's focused on something else, does that happen as well where he doesn't listen to you the first time?
Hmm. Can't think of any right now. I'm sure it's
Mm.
happened before, but I feel like
Mhm.
for the most part, if he's playing, I'll just tell him, and you could play after the bath, or you
Mhm.
could play after you finish eating and washing up after.
Mhm.
Or you know what, maybe when it's a like a play date, that's actually when it is kind of a little bit tricky to get him to leave when he's around other children
Yeah.
that he's playing with. That one is also similar to the toilet situation. It just depends. I don't know. Some days he'll be really good at listening. Some days he just retaliates.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I don't know how I could make it a constant thing for him to listen. Uh-huh.
I've seen it too because I know he's come over and we've gone over a couple of times with my son and he gets, when we're ready to leave or when he's ready to leave, he tries to linger and stay. It's
Right.
cute. It's really cute. And it's nice to know that he doesn't wanna leave my house.
Yes.
Yes. And, one thing that I think parents should know is that not listening and not processing aren't always the same thing, right? So, when children
Right.
are deeply involved in play, building something, doing something they're not supposed to, right? Um, or even like problem solving, their brains are working really, really hard. And sometimes they simply need a little extra time to shift their attention. How do you usually get his attention when you need something from him or when you need him to stop what he's doing?
Hmm. I feel like that looks different each time it happens
Mhm.
because my patience levels are also different during these scenarios.
Yeah.
There's times where I don't know, sometimes you just gotta do the walk of shame. When
Mhm.
I remember when he was younger, the kicking, the screaming, leaving a store,
Mhm.
or or Peter Piper, but it's time for the parents to go, so like the kids gotta go too. But
Mhm.
there's also been times where I try not to do this anymore. I haven't done it in a good while now because he is a little bit older now.
Mhm.
The bribery with a toy or a pack of gummies or something.
I
That
remember those times.
yes. Um, there when my patience is a little bit higher, I will try to just sit down. Once I could sense like, okay, this is gonna be a while. Let me sit down, eye level with him,
Mhm.
speak calmly to him. Every now and then he will raise his voice at me, but I'll just calmly tell him, speak kind to me.
Mhm.
Be gentle with their words to me because it's just you and me having a conversation. Nobody else around should be listening in.
Mhm.
And so we could both kind of self-regulate the situation, and then he'll speak calmer, which
Yeah.
calms his mind down, I guess.
Yeah.
And we negotiate.
That's really
We just kind of
good.
negotiate.
That's really good. You're teaching him emotional, what's the word? Emotional
Regulation?
emotional regulation, but emotional literacy. I believe that's the
Ooh,
term.
okay.
Let me look that up really quickly. I'm pretty sure emotional literacy. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Emotional literacy is the ability to recognize, understand, express, and manage emotions, both your own and other people's. So,
Oh,
by doing that, you're teaching him to control how he's feeling, right? Not to say, if he's angry, like allowing him to be upset, but not to make that upset and followed by saying mean things or hurtful things, um,
Mhm.
which is really, really good. And I love that observation because sometimes those little adjustments make a huge difference. Like I was saying, you're teaching him emotional literacy. And instead of calling him from another room or like, yelling across Peter Piper, right? Getting him close and making that eye contact like you do and connecting first can help children successfully shift their attention. And
Mhm.
another strategy that you could possibly use is, giving a heads up before a transition of leaving a certain place, right? And that could look like, okay, in 5 minutes, we're gonna be leaving. In 5 minutes, we're gonna clean up. Or you can also, what I like to do, what I like to call is the pre-Mac principle, which is the first then language. So first we clean up, then we play outside. Or first we'll do this, then we'll finish off with this. Or first we'll leave and then I'll give you gummies, right? Going back to the bribery.
Right.
But those little reminders can help children prepare for what's coming next. Okay.
Yes.
Now, switching gears a little bit more, I'm going to talk
Mhm.
about one of my favorite occupations, play. You've
Aw.
I've seen you grow as a mom, right? And also I've seen all the different types of plays that you've been incorporating with your son since he was born. And
Mhm.
a lot of them was, sensory rich activities. And you've implemented those in his daily routines. What are his what are some of his favorite ways to play?
It has changed a little bit as he's gotten older, but some things that have stuck are cars and trains.
Uh-huh.
And I'm really glad about that because I love seeing him build his tracks and just watching him engage and play. And I also, yes,
It's okay.
live as we speak.
Live as we speak, he's playing with his
How?
tracks right now?
No, I meant like trying to get a child to listen.
Oh.
Because I'm trying to, because I can't focus on um like what I'm talking about when he's in the room with me
Oh,
because
no,
I'm
it's
focusing
okay.
on like what.
But that's okay.
There you go.
That's alright. We love that. Live live action right now.
I had to bribe him with a dummy.
Oh, that's okay.
Oh, oh, oh my
So
gosh.
funny. Oh.
Um.
Yeah, so we were
Oh
talking about
yeah.
what are some of his favorite ways to play?
Mhm. Now that he's older, he is more willing to be outside. He loves going to the park, just playing with any kid there. He loves tag,
Uh-huh.
um, which can be a little tricky because he doesn't like to be it. So once he's it, he just says, "I don't want to play anymore." Um,
Uh,
but something that has been constant with him is the trains and the cars.
uh-huh,
And I do really like that. Like just this morning, we were doing trains and I wanted to do something a little bit different. So we just got a crossword puzzle book. So
uh-huh.
I was telling him every word, after every word we find in the crossword puzzle, we can move the trains. So that was really good. We were doing it back and forth and it's helping him read and just the just by I don't know the term, how y like, the
Mm.
sight, how quickly you could see the word.
Oh, just
There's
with
a
the
term
yeah,
for it.
they're visual perception skills. So,
Oh,
I know
yes.
that's an umbrella term, and there's a bunch of other terms that go underneath, but he's working on his visual scanning, visual recognition, even what we call in OT worlds called figure ground. So what that is that, he has his trains, like, in a big pile, right? And he's searching for a specific one. He's able to identify it and pick it up. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
I completely agree. All of those different play items, play occupations is helping him with all of these skills, which is really, really good. Um, and one thing I like to tell my parents is that play is the most important occupation a child can do. That is their
Right.
occupation, right? And through play, it's how children learn about themselves and the world around them. And like I said, it's how they problem solve, how they build that confidence, develop those social skills, and even learn how to regulate their emotion. As in OT school, we look at play as one of the most meaningful occupations of a childhood because so much learning happens through those experiences. Have
Yeah.
you have there been certain activities that seem especially calming or helpful for him?
Yes, he loves sensory play. He loves I remember when he
Yay.
was little, we would do like those water beads, which can
Mhm.
be a little dangerous. So you gotta make sure
Yes.
to not blink
Yeah. Not
when
breathe.
they're playing with them, especially when they're younger.
Yeah.
But he would love that, even just with little rocks, pebbles.
Mhm.
We would do a lot of I found it a little bit more simpler to just use the foam that soap creates whenever
Mhm.
you mix like soap and water. Just keep the foam part and then put his toys in there, give him a bath. He could do that for like 30 minutes and he loves that.
I love that. Sammy, as a future pediatric OT, I am so happy that you incorporate sensory play into his daily routine. Oh, my little OT heart is bursting.
Oh yay.
Yay! And that's a great example, right? Many sensory-rich activities provide that input that help children feel more organized, more regulated,
Mhm.
and actually ready to participate in everyday activities. And the best part of sensory play is that it doesn't have to be complicated. I mean, you said you made
Right.
rocks and soap. Like, that's super,
Mhm.
super simple. And I love that. And some of the most beneficial activities are things families are already doing at home. So
Mhm.
thank you so much for sharing that. My listeners are gonna be so happy to hear that, and I'm pretty sure most of them are gonna relate.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yay.
yay. So, Sammy, before we wrap up every episode, I like to leave my parents with an OT tip of the day. And
Okay.
today's tip is curiosity works better than assumptions. So,
Mm.
when your child is struggling with something, right, try asking yourself, what might be making this difficult for them? Sometimes the answer is fear. Sometimes it's a sensory processing. Sometimes it's attention, right? And sometimes it's simply part of being a child. When we understand the why, it becomes much easier to figure out how to help.
Definitely agree.
Yay! So, Sammy, thank you so much for sharing your family's experience with us today. I know so many parents are going to be able to relate to your story, like I mentioned.
Yay. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah. And thank you to everyone listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow the podcast and share it with another caregiver who might benefit from today's conversation. You can also find more information about my capstone project, podcast updates, and resources on my Instagram, OT with Trina. Remember, every behavior tells a story, every occupation has meaning, and sometimes all we need to do is slow down and unpack it. Join me next time to unpack the why behind the what. Mahalo!